What amperage trolling motor do I need for my boat installation? Imagine cruising smoothly across the water, your fishing line cast out, and your trolling motor quietly doing its job. Choosing the right amperage for your trolling motor is key to making that happen. It all depends on your boat's size, weight, and the voltage system you use. The amperage draw of a trolling motor is directly linked to how much thrust it produces and the voltage it runs on. First, figure out how much thrust you need. A good rule is 2 pounds of thrust for every 100 pounds of your boat's total weight, including gear and passengers. For example, if your boat weighs 1,500 pounds, you'll want about 30 pounds of thrust. For a 3,000-pound boat, aim for around 60 pounds of thrust. More thrust means the motor will draw more amps, especially if you're fighting wind or currents. Next, look at the voltage system. 12-volt systems are common for small boats under 16 feet or lightweight vessels. These motors usually draw between 30 and 60 amps depending on thrust. For medium-sized boats from 16 to 22 feet, 24-volt systems are better. They provide more power but draw about 40 to 80 amps total. Larger boats over 22 feet or those in rough water often need 36-volt systems, which give high thrust with efficient power use but higher total amps. A simple way to estimate is that a 12-volt trolling motor pulls about 0.9 to 1 amp per pound of thrust at full throttle. So, a 55-pound thrust motor might draw around 50 to 55 amps when running at full power. This helps you size your battery and wiring properly to handle the current safely. Other things to consider are your boat's weight and size, which determine how much thrust you need. Wind and water conditions can make the motor work harder, increasing amps. The length of your motor's shaft and how you mount it also matter. A longer shaft keeps the propeller submerged in rough water, but it doesn't directly affect amperage. Your motor's features can influence power needs too. Saltwater models have corrosion protection but similar amps. Variable speed controls can change the average current draw during operation. When installing, make sure your battery and wiring can handle the maximum amps your motor might draw. Use a battery system that matches your voltage, 12, 24, or 36 volts, for best performance. Longer shafts are better for bigger boats or rough water. Match your motor's thrust and amperage to your boat's weight and typical conditions. This way, your trolling motor will run efficiently, your battery will last longer, and your fishing trips will be more enjoyable.